Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video I'll be doing a review for the ME262 A-1a Jabo, with gameplay being shown as well. I'll give you an overview, its strengths and weaknesses, its role, and if you should research and then purchase it. I don't want to waste your time, so let's get into the video. So to start, let's go over its fully upgraded stats and RB. They're all the same as the regular A-1a, but it's still worth mentioning. So it has an 865 km per hour top speed, a 28-second turn time, a 20 meter per second rate of climb, which is fairly poor, and 4 30mm cannons. Also, because it is a newer plane, to me at least, the Jabo looks like a nicer, cleaner model when compared to the much older in-game ME262 A-1a. Additionally, the Jabo has fairly low RP requirements for mods, so it'll be somewhat quick to spade. The ME262 A-1a Jabo is a hidden gem from the X-Fast strike, and again, forgive me if I mispronounce the update name, because Gaijin barely even mentioned it before adding it to the game, and it totally adds a new capability for most ME262 fans: close air support, at least in the traditional ME262 setup. Albeit, again, it is a bit limited with options for up to just 2 bombs, or anti-ground rockets, as well as your standard R4M air-to-air rockets, but these additional options do not come at the cost of performance, at least if you don't equip the ordnance, of course. Oftentimes, if a plane simply has the capability of carrying additional ordnance, even if it doesn't actually carry the additional ordnance, it equates to having modifications that make the plane heavier than the non-modified version, and as such, it will perform worse. Again, this is not the case with the ME262 A-1a Jabo, which basically makes it a regular A-1a unless you decide to equip its additional secondary weapons. I believe that even with your ordnance expended, however, be it either bombs or rockets, you will still suffer slight performance decreases with the Jabo due to the addition of pylons that would otherwise not be there if you never equipped the ordnance in the first place. With the exception of the A-1U1 squadron vehicle, the incredibly rare A-2a, and the A-1U4, which is extremely specialized for either ground attack or for hitting larger planes, this is the only variant of the 262 that can act as a multi-role plane. Even better is that it is the only one that can carry either anti-air or anti-ground ordnance in the game, albeit separately from each other. At least you have the option. This is the only ME262 with 30mm in the regular tech tree that can perform competently, albeit in a somewhat limited extent, in either role. I know we already have plenty of ME262s already in War Thunder, but I'm going to use this moment to specifically petition Gaijin for the ME262 HG1 and maybe even the HG2. Oh great snail, I know that we all trash talk you sometimes, but these would be awesome additions to the game, and we already know that the HG1 existed and actually flew. These were mentioned years ago in an official Gaijin memo, so I fully expect them to come out. Please, I know they probably won't, but I would love you forever. Just give us these variants. Either way, let's get back to the video. Pandering aside, the Jabo is extremely strong at, as with other ME262s, destroying larger planes, such as heavy fighters and bombers, largely due to the incredible power of the 30mm cannons and their relative inaccuracy, which has obviously helped when facing larger targets. With the addition of its bombs, it can now go after ground, albeit to a somewhat mediocre extent, being that, again, its options are limited to just a few weapons. Ultimately though, while the Jabo gives you options for bombs, you will rarely find yourself in a situation where you will be able to take out more than one tank at a time, which, when compared to other 262 variants like the A-1U1 and more so the A-1U4, it's mediocre to say the least. Once you maybe get a kill, you're totally unable to destroy anything on the ground outside of unarmored or lightly armored vehicles, and you'll have to decide whether to either turn around and go to rearm at base, or to provide air cover. And even if you come back from rearming at base, it'll take a long time for you to get there due to the slow acceleration, and you'll only be able to take out 1, maybe 2 ground targets again. The multi-role capability of the Jabo, while definitely there, is a bit of an illusion at the same time, being that you only have 1, maybe 2 chances to go over ground targets and destroy them, unless again, of course, they're unarmored. But on the plus side, with the Jabo, you can finally complete your ultimate late World War II German lineup for ground RB. This is like the late 1945, early 1946 territory that we're getting into, if the Germans were still able to fight hold their land, and produce vehicles, of course. This said, the 262 Jabo is basically all the strengths and weaknesses of the regular 262, albeit with slightly more versatility. Now for strengths, the Jabo has great energy retention, amazing dive rates, extremely powerful cannons, and light close air support capability when equipped with ground ordnance. And it also has good durability. For weaknesses, the Jabo has poor acceleration, poor climb rate, poor turning radius compared to lighter fighters, poor rate of fire, and slow cell velocity, both of which make for tons of missed opportunities when planes literally fly through the gaps between your shells as you fire. Because the Jabo is now grouped up with the regular ME262 A-1a on the tech tree, it begs the question, should you go out of your way and research and also buy this plane? I'd say 100% yes for a few groups of people. First, obviously, if you like the ME262, this is a great addition to that lineup, being that it's essentially a clone of the A-1a except with the capability of dropping bombs or shooting ground rockets at your enemies. Further, it strengthens an already strong 7.0 or 7.3 lineup for Germany, depending on if you play AB or RB. Additionally, if you're looking for a potent addition to your close air support lineup, or at least something that can do mostly well with precision airstrikes, this could be the answer to your problems, as it sits at a comfortable BR and has only a somewhat lower bomb load when compared to a more typical bomber or close air support plane in the AR-234C3. The benefit to the Jabo compared to the 234, however, is that once done with CAS, you can immediately switch to clearing the skies of enemy fighters. Additionally, the Jabo is a much smaller plane than the AR-234, which makes it a tougher target, and even if it does get shot down, it's still around 1,600 Silver Lions fewer than the 234C3 to repair an RB. This is not a ton, but everything does count, especially when your earnings potential is likely a little bit higher with the Jabo, while having a lower BR in ground RB. So is the Jabo some groundbreaking plane that you absolutely need in order to get further in the German air tech tree? No. But this is definitely a cool little nugget that Gaijin snuck into War Thunder under our noses and makes 7.0 Germany a bit more competent, especially in multi-role planes. While skipping this plane in the tech tree will likely have little to no effect on you, adding it will certainly make for a more well-rounded lineup that doesn't just rely on pure fighters. That said, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of this video. It all means the absolute world to me. But either way, I'll be signing out for the night. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and I will see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.